Yo, so how's it going? Well, how about we make some unnecessary buffs to some of the Vanguards in Marvel Rivals? Sound good? Cool. Now to start, I would like to say that this was not my idea. I am kind of stealing it from another guy. His name is Off the Zenny. I just thought it was really fun and I wanted to make it myself. So I'm gonna put my own spin on it and make some different buffs for the characters and also do some different characters as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Also, one more little side note, not all of these buffs will be serious. Some of them are just going to be insanely powerful for no reason, specifically one. Yeah, okay, now let's get into it. Up first is Angela. Now, there is one main thing I would like to change about her, and that is the cooldown on the flight. So what I would do is simply just get rid of it. I have always thought it's really annoying, and I don't like that you have to wait like 10 seconds to use it again. So how about we just snap it away. For Captain America, what I would change about him is firstly make the primary attack that shield throw you get from attacking, and after that I would make the shield blocking not have any cooldown because that is really dumb. He's the shield guy, why does he have a 1 second cooldown on that? And finally, I would make his shield have more health because 350 is not enough, or however much he has. Still not enough. Here's one everyone likes. Deadpool. For him, I would lower the cooldown on the ultimate to like 30 seconds, since I think that would be really fun to just spam ults on the poor enemy team. Also, one other thing I would do for Deadpool is make his hazardous hijinks have just no limit on it. So Deadpool can just jump from person to person, just spamming the ability, like how the duelist version of Deadpool can. I just think that would cause a lot of mayhem and be really fun to do. On to Devil Dinosaur. Now, he does not need a buff whatsoever, but if I were to make one for him, I would make his laser have infinite range and just make it so he can't be headshot. I mean, he already takes half damage from the head, so just make it a normal shot. On to number 5, Doctor Strange. And what I would do for him is make his ultimate just like 50% bigger, since whenever I'm playing him, it always feels like his ultimate is not big enough to reach anyone. So just make it a little bit bigger and you're good. And the second thing I would do is I would make a new ability for the Doctor. The ability would be very similar to Magic's teleport. It's just there would be no ability options after you use it, but in return it would get more distance and also be faster. So you could kind of trick your opponents easier than with Magic's teleport. Emma Frost was a bit harder than the other characters to figure out, but what I thought of for her is making her chokeslam do more damage, since currently it does like 30, and I feel like a chokeslam should do a little bit more damage than just 30. So I'm bumping it up to like 90. That feels like a better number than 30. It might be a little bit broken with the rest of her kit, but it's fine. It's fine. Also, I feel like her shield should have more health, since currently it's on the lower side. It's like 400 health, so I would also bump up that. Yeah, that's it. Alright, on to Groot. What I got for Groot is a movement ability. Since he's kind of lacking in that department, he has walls, he has protection, he has a little bit of damage, but he has nothing to get around with. He's so slow. So we could change that with a little bit of movement. And the ability I have for him is basically like a wall that he can use to push himself forward. I just think that'd be kind of fun, and it would go along with his wall archetype of a character. He could also use it to like push around an enemy with him to get them away from his team, or push a teammate towards him so he can like get them extra movement as well. Yeah, I just think it'd be fun. Now, Hulk is actually a character who could use buffs. He feels a little bit weak to play compared to the other Vanguards, but I don't think these are the buffs he needs. He needs completely different buffs. These are just some fun things I thought could be cool. So first up, I would give him more damage on his primary hit, his like punches that he does, which are kind of weak. And 2, I would allow him to knock up enemies whenever he jumps into the air and lands on them. So like you see the animation of like the ground splitting apart underneath him. Just make that actually deal damage and like knock enemies up. I think that'd be really cool to have in the game. Next person is Magneto. There are a couple things that I could do for Magneto, but I think doing something like letting him pull full buildings apart would be crazy. Just imagine hiding and your cover just gets fully taken away from you because a Magneto just ate it all up with his freaking powers of metal. I think that'd be really silly and make some crazy moments. It would not be very good for the game, I don't think, but it would be really funny to see in game. Now, on to Penny Parker. And for her, I would make it so she can put her spider nests on payloads, because that would cause mayhem. And I would also make it so her ultimate can be a passive thing. So like, you don't have to do any of it yourself. You can kind of just keep doing what you would normally do and like shoot your enemies, maybe block a Iron Man ultimate with the webs. And then you can also just put the mines down on the ground and also have that movement speed bonus. I think that would make the ultimate actually pretty good and people wouldn't complain about it anymore. So yeah, for the Thing, I have a kind of wacky one. Doing some research on the Thing, which it was not very much, but anyways, I found he has really good lungs. And I also thought he needed some ranged ability since currently he has nothing to fend against flyers with. So how about he can just suck up his enemies? Okay, well, not exactly suck up, but pull them near him. So he can just like start inhaling his enemies and then just start wailing on them right afterwards. I think that'd be really fun to see in the game. And it would also make him way more powerful, which he's kind of getting destroyed against Devil Dino right now. So he kind of needs a buff. And what better way to do that than giving him lungs? Now onto the final 3, starting with Rogue. For her, I would allow her to take an ability from all the heroes in the game instead of just some of them. And one other thing I would do to that skill is make it so when she uses it on someone, they can't use that ability for some time. So a way for her to silence abilities. But I don't think it would be that strong because it's only one ability instead of all of them for the other person. So it shouldn't be that bad. The 2 things I would do for Thor is make Storm Surge not have any movement speed debuff, because it's kind of annoying that you go like half speed when you're using it. So I don't want that in the game anymore, so I would take that away. As well as give him a blue hammer when he uses the hammer throw, so he can get like 2 Thor Force for every hammer throw. I think that would be really fun. And it would also make him flow better, even though he really doesn't need that. And finally, our last character, Venom. Now, I'm really proud of this one. What I would do for Venom is give him a second use of Venom Swing to make him better than Spider-Man. That's it. That's all he needs. And with that, that's the list of all the unnecessary buffs that I would give to the Vanguards of Marvel Rivals. Some of them would actually be nice to have in game, and some of the other ones are kind of insane. But yeah, they were fun to make, and I'll see y'all in the next one. See ya!